All right, welcome to the Spoiler Kings. I am Tankcramer. I'm with Peppa MD Will, and we have a special guest this week, Martin. He's from our normal Sunday show, Morning Spike, and let me turn it down. And Dynasty Pylon on Wednesdays. Um, cool. How you guys doing, man?
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Fantastic. Watching the movie? Not so much.
yeah. We're gonna get into that.
Yeah. No, I'm good,
Um,
man. It was pretty
had a good
interesting. I
weekend.
saw you guys were doing this show. I was like, I just saw that movie, so I'll just jump on.
Hell yeah. Always welcome to have guests on the show. Whoever, man. We're just chopping it up. That's how we're doing, man.
Yeah.
Spoiling everything, by the way. So if you plan on watching this movie, you know what? Pause us, put us in your favorites, share, and then come back to us.
Come back. Yeah. Yeah. You just want to get right into the trailer.
Yeah, let's break down the trailer. Let's point out our favorite characters. No.
So this is coming out on Netflix, or it is on Netflix. It came out this past Friday. Um, Bautista, he's the main guy, and then you know that guy, the Japanese guy, that's Scorpion.
A Scorpion from
That's
Mortal Kombat that
Scorpion.
we just seen recently,
Yep.
right? That's
Yep.
crazy. He's been getting a lot of work for sure. In this movie, I was surprised I seen some familiar faces from back then. Let's see, I could pull up the cast. So pretty much Batista, right? He's like a ex mercenary.
Yeah, he's like I know he's military,
He's
and then
military.
just like became a family man kind of thing, and
Yeah.
So it seemed like, yeah.
yeah,
And so he has like an old who's she? She was like his old love interest or whatever. Not the mother of
no,
was it?
it wasn't like it wasn't like his first love interest. It was like they fell in, or she fell in love during their adventures of zombie killing
Gotcha. Okay,
kind
okay.
of stuff.
Um he has a daughter. Main
Hmm.
he has a daughter. What else am I missing here? The way this all starts off is pretty much there's a military vehicle or vehicles, and
Yeah,
they're transporting very important cargo, right?
yeah. They're not told what it is.
They're not told what it is. It's super highly classified, and they're just on this lonely ass road, and there's no one in sight except for another car coming the opposite direction, who's like a newlywed couple. You see like the can strings on the back of the car, and it's all super cliche. And one thing I will
Yeah.
say is so many cliches in this movie.
Oh, big time,
Like
big time. He didn't do anything new. He just took a bunch of old stuff and put it all together,
honestly,
like legit. Well, he
the,
did a zombie movie before. I can't think. Well, Zack Snyder. We're talking about
Zack
Zack
Snyder
Snyder
directed.
directed and did all the stuff for this movie.
Okay, I thought you were talking about Batista. I was like,
No. Zack Snyder
Zack
is
Snyder.
the director. I believe
okay.
he did the screenplay too as well. But yeah, he was
Yeah,
the
long
director.
time ago, I believe he did Dawn of the Dead. Dawn
Dawn
of
of
the
the
Dead
Dead.
was done by him. The
Yeah,
zombie movie again, where they're trapped in a mall. They get friendly with
yeah,
a neighboring person across the street, and then shit goes to
yeah.
hell.
As it,
And
that part was pretty cool with the tigers. Real quick.
oh yeah,
Oh
Like
yeah,
I
that
was
was
like,
great.
pretty
I thought
cool.
that
Very
was kind
interesting
of
and
new.
original.
Yeah, because usually a lot of zombie movies and shows don't mess with animals that much like
Yeah,
that. Like you
don't
never
touch 'em.
see like Walking Dead. There's never like a dog or anything. I mean, there might be
Right.
now. I don't.
There was
I
only
haven't watched
one
it
that I
out.
remember of when I
But yeah,
saw that. It
yeah.
was I Am Legend and this dog.
Oh yeah,
That was the only one. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. That was the first animal one I
Which
remember.
makes sense. Like I don't get why it's never animals. It makes sense.
Probably
If it's the brain, then yeah,
WWF going after them or something. They don't want to.
probably yeah, PETA
Yeah,
and stuff like that.
yeah. That's
But I
probably
thought
what they're afraid of.
this was funny because obviously they're in Vegas. Where's the tiger at Vegas? Siegfried and Roy, which that's one of their tigers, which is kind of funny because that tiger also did attack one of them, I believe.
they did, they did.
So
I'm surprised he didn't get put down.
So it's kind of like a
yeah,
joke in that movie, then kind of. That's funny.
yeah,
And
yeah,
well, like this cargo, right? It's cargo van. It's
yeah,
cargo truck, I should say. Um, was holding I want to call it a super zombie. He even had the cape.
Yeah.
Later in the movie, he has a cape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this very intelligent, higher strain of zombie, this higher tier of zombie that has critical thinking skills. They know what a hierarchy is,
Yeah.
and all that. This is a super zombie, super swole. I want to say he's probably like a, I don't know, probably an ex-soldier himself. The way he
Yeah,
looked
he
like.
he did have dog tags on,
He did have dog tags. Okay, I didn't catch that
in the
part.
beginning and throughout the whole movie, he had dog tags.
Did he have it at the beginning when he came out of the cargo
Yeah.
hold?
He had
Yeah,
shorter
he had
hair.
like
He had
he
no
had
hair,
short
right?
hair. Yeah,
I thought it was
Yeah.
bald, wasn't he?
Uh,
When he
possibly.
first came out of the cargo hold, I think he was bald.
Bald.
And I don't
he
think
was-
he
He might have been,
The
but he
one
did
thing
have the
I'm
dog
actually-
tags.
Did
And then he had like those like EKG, stickers, with the lines that come out, that they
okay.
check
So
I'm
vital
actually
signs.
rewatching the scene.
Those were like ripped, but he had around him.
I couldn't see too deeply of those details. I did know that he looked like he was like being worked on, right? He was probably like
Yeah,
by scientists. That's probably gonna be a backstory that we don't see in this film, but
Yeah.
that kind of maybe sets us up for maybe a prequel or something like that if this this movie can do
Oh
numbers.
yeah,
Just
yeah,
pops off and gets a lot of views or something.
yeah.
Right.
I think he said he already has plans for a prequel and a sequel. So
Well, that would make
definitely-
sense.
that's also
I see
Zack Snyder. Zack Snyder, he's gonna troll the fans to, restart the zombie Snyder verse or whatever the fuck. But
Crazy
yeah,
dude. He's like he's damn near the Hulk. I wanna call him.
yeah.
He gets out, right?
His name in the movie, which I didn't know until I believe I read the credits, was his name is Zeus.
I did not know that. No shit.
I did. They don't say his name obviously or anything, but in the credits it's like Zeus Alpha, Alpha Zombie, which makes sense because he, they stayed in the Olympus Hotel. He's Zeus.
Makes sense.
Okay,
Makes sense.
Okay.
I'm like,
I wonder if
he's
you
like
put the
king of-
captions on. Like
Very
sometimes
good.
when they do noises, sometimes it displays their names before it.
That's
Mm.
true.
And I'm actually trying to watch that right now and see if
I
the
wonder,
name
yeah.
Zeus or anything pops up when he growls or something.
That
Yeah.
reminds me of like what's it call it? The Winter Soldier and what's that? The one show that just happened
Oh,
recently.
yeah, Falcon Winter Soldier.
And there they revealed Falcon as Captain America towards like the end of like one of the last episodes, or if not the last
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah.
That was a cool
Yeah.
way they did that. But
Yeah.
yeah, he breaks out when those two vehicles collide. The storage container gets damaged. He breaks out, and you think Bautista did good. You think so? Okay. We'll talk about
I think
Bautista.
so. Yeah, we're gonna get to him in a little bit, but I liked him in the movie.
Mhm.
One of the only things
His
I liked.
I want to say his execution of what he was given was good, but I don't know. I didn't like some of the writing for I don't like a lot of the characters. But
Yeah.
how do you say, Martin? You're military, right?
Yeah, I was waiting for this.
Tell us about your background a little bit.
Okay, so compared to the movie or just myself in general? So
Yourself compared to the movie. Yeah, both actually.
okay,
So
all right. Well,
what branch of the military are you?
Army.
Army. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm sure you've been in the army.
I'm
more than
now
5 years, 4 years.
Yeah, for sure. I'm actually now hitting 8 now.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I
So
just got promoted to sergeant as of last year.
Oh, hell yeah.
So I have a little bit of a little bit of leadership role. I can bite, but I can't really bark yet.
Mm.
So
Okay.
I cannot
That's
agree
dope.
with you there, Oli.
Yeah. So I mean, like
Chris,
out of like the lower rankings, out of
Chris
the lower
can stay
rankings,
far away from everything.
Gotcha.
So
But yeah, so you have good knowledge of how things go down in the military, right?
yes, yeah,
When you're transporting important cargo, time is of the essence, right? I mean,
Yeah.
at any time, time is of the essence. You don't want to get ambushed. You don't want to be late for your drop off. You don't want to, it's got to be very precise. If you don't get it to what you planned, then things are going to go sour.
Oh yeah,
right?
it's very different. But here's the
Yeah.
thing about myself. Like when I watch military scenes or anything like that, I know it's a movie. I know they're not going to get it right, so I'm not going to go
Yeah.
harp on them about it. So I always enjoy it because me as a viewer, I'm always going to enjoy it as well. A lot of military people, they're like, oh, it's BS, and I just don't want to watch anymore because they got this wrong. I'm like, yeah, but it's a lot of these filmmakers never served or did any of that, so they only can go off of people like myself and get into detailed as much as they really could. So
I mean, real life sucks. Like you're like I'm in the medical field. No one does any of the medical stuff correctly. No one does CPR. No one does anything crazy. But it's like real life compared to like I want to watch a movie and then be exaggerated versions of what people think.
Yeah. So like when I was watching that at the beginning, I'm like, okay, well, there's a crap ton of things wrong, but like I said, I'm gonna keep watching. Like the vehicles like that, like I've done in convoys like that before, but I have been in convoys where I myself was the cargo holder and I did not know what I was holding. I've been in that situation before.
Okay.
Now here's the thing: if it was like something very, very expensive, or it was like something of alien terrestrial or something like that, like such as the movie. Now I'm comparing myself to the movie. I don't think I've ever carried an alien myself, but I'm saying like they would be multiple gunners, and in that scene they did not have you can see there's only 4 trucks. The first one was like a lead vehicle. They were just kind of like whatever. There was no gunner on it. So if you pause it, like when they go out through the gates, you can see that there's a gunner or a non-gunner, a lead vehicle. There's the cargo, what seems to be maybe like a fueler or something like that, and then which is a Buffalo, is what that third vehicle was, which is basically for bombs.
Okay.
That are on the ground. So they thought about it. I'll give them that.
Okay.
So the Buffalo is usually for mines and stuff like that. And the rear vehicle, they had the gunner. If you see the turret on top of that Humvee, that was the gunner itself. That should have been there should have been like 2 or 3 of them. It should have been a gunner, the lead Vic, those guys up front should have been the second vehicle. Right. The cargo should have been in the middle. I mean, you can always rearrange the way the convoy commander wants it.
Right.
And then a gunner in the middle of the convoy, and then a gunner in the back. That's how it should have been. Right. But I mean, again, I'm not going to be a hard critic about it, but that's what I see. But I'm going to enjoy the any type of movie regardless. Like weapons can go off, uniforms always off, something's always wrong that kind of irks me a little bit.
Okay.
But I still enjoy it.
I mean, it's all believability, right? Like how much can you believe? If you're not wearing the right stuff, that can throw you off a little bit. I'm not talking about small details. I'm talking like if everyone was wearing the exact same thing. Okay, no. Then
I mean, for something as classified as this zombie alien looking thing, I'm pretty sure they should have had a little bit more security than the couple of trucks,
or at least be told like, hey, you need to focus 100%.
Oh yeah, they were just
second. They were kicking around, and they like you said, just common sense. Why would you put the stuff in the front? Well, that's just common sense. That's not even like I don't need military training to know that.
That's what I'm saying.
So it was but it is what it is.
It's made for the movie. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
One thing that got to me, right? I don't have any military experience, but I myself have common sense, right? If you're given an order in the military, when do you do it? Do you do it later or do you do it now?
Well, there's orders that have to happen now, and then there's orders that have to be like.
Well, if someone says,
there's objectives within the mission.
Right. If let's say your superior tells you get out of there now, what are you doing? You're
You're yelling.
You're
yelling.
You're like, wait, what you say? What?
Yeah,
I always hate when they. What do you mean get out now?
They told us to get away from it. Is what
that's what I'm talking about.
Like, yeah, they just told us to get away from it. And I'm like, no, dude, he would be yelling at him, and he would be giving him this. This is that symbolic knife hand. You'll see this in the military. When someone's giving you this order, they'll be like this right here, and they'll put it right up in your face.
Yeah.
And you're like, you mother F, you need to do this or something. Like you would see that. And at that point, it should have been more yelling, get out of there. Yeah. But they just seemed too calm about the whole situation because, someone would be yelling that they just murdered 2 civilians, which, again, they were too calm about it. Oh, they're dead. Oh yeah, just leave it there. Like no, dude. Like there is so many
Dude.
so many things wrong in that first scene. And
Yeah.
then he should have been yelling. He should have been like worried about the two individuals. And then the cargo is probably the most, on there you could hear over the radio, like, what about the cargo? And then he's like, oh, that should have been the first thing you should have known.
Yep.
But yeah, it was interesting to see.
So they obviously they told them to get out of there because they were gonna like napalm or bomb the cargo, right? Was that what they were trying to do? Would you guys agree? Why else would you tell them to get out of there? Obviously, you can try to outrun this dude, but
Yeah, I think they know what's in there.
Mhm.
Because that's what I was thinking too. Was like, are they gonna just like bomb it? But I mean, it's gonna be a couple minutes before jets are in the air and all that crazy shit.
Here's my thing.
But I was like, get away from it.
You have a crew, right? A crew. I kind of don't want to give away too early, but this individual doesn't take much to take him out. It takes a gun to take him out. It does not take a nuclear blast to take him out. We'll find that out later in the movie. But like, they had a whole squad. Even the small guys they did have. Boom, done. One and done. Open and shut.
I don't think it's giving away anything where, like, if you see a zombie, everybody knows where to shoot. It's been Resident Evil, every zombie movie ever. So it's not giving
not
anything
this
away.
one. Not this
one.
one.
Common sense. It's like, if you're
boom,
oh yeah,
let's
I
try
get you have your triangle, to shoot for, but it's like, all right, I'm shooting you in the chest, and you're not going down. I'm gonna shoot you in the head, like really, really close. Especially when you're like that close. You're like, he was like 10 yards away. I was like, yeah, at that point. But yeah. But he was
that's another thing, right? So they don't aim for the head in this movie. You're gonna see that they do not aim for the head. They don't talk about it. They don't like say like, hey, we should do this more often. They do. I miss it then. Because they keep fucking up, bro.
There's a part, yeah. So, but yeah, well, there's that whole scene, and then there was also I don't know if you guys ever seen American Werewolf in Paris, an old, amazing, one of the best horror scary movies ever. And he took a scene, like, copy and paste it, when they're there and the two guys and one falls, and then it's like super, super tense, and then he falls and it's like, oh no, not like everything's fine, and then the monster comes out of nowhere. It's exactly shot for shot for American Werewolf in Paris, except replace the werewolf with a zombie, But but he did that on purpose. It was even, he said that, he took a lot of things from other movies he liked, So obviously, if you guys never seen if you've never seen it, it has the best, still to this day, the best werewolf transformation, like the best, and that's made in the 70s, I think.
You gotta add it to the list now.
Oh, dude, for the longest, I don't know if Martin, if you have like subway systems. In Arizona, but if in Chicago we have a big subway, kind of system. Because of that movie, I'm still kind of iffy going in subways because I'm looking down, the darkness tunnel, and I'm like, it's gonna come. So watch that movie, man. It's a good, it's still a really, really good movie. But yeah, so that happened, and then there's a big montage of that brought everything up to speed. Which I love that. I was like, cool, action. Give us the quick backstory of everyone really quick within a couple minutes. They did it very Zombieland style. Yep. Like it reminded me exactly of Zombieland. The beginning with Metallica, playing. This one, I believe it was Johnny Cash, I think. I don't remember what the song. Oh no, it was Viva Las Vegas, but it was a different. It wasn't it was somebody else. That's right.
It was a cover, right?
Yeah, it was a cover.
There you go.
But yeah, so that was kind of good. I enjoyed that because it kind of gave you like, here's your main characters. This guy uses the saw. And Bautista's the badass, and So I was like, I thought that was awesome. I'm like, with that scene, the first scene, like all the craziness happened there, and then the intro scene, I was 100% on board. I'm like, this movie is gonna be good.
They blew their budget at the beginning.
Yeah. So. Yeah, so then then even at the end of that opening scene, you find out who's who and stuff like that, and they're trying to save people from like the Vegas and bring them out to the outside, like this like walled area. And as they were saving somebody, like I guess they found the daughter, and they were like running back in, and then the mom got pulled in by zombies, and and it was like, and then they like crush them with these cargo containers that they use for walls.
Yep.
So I was like, that was really like sucky. It was like, but it's just like they don't fuck around.
No.
Like even in that was like in the intro, like you see one of the ladies walks up to a car, and both of the people in the car had bites on their necks, and she just like bam bam. I was like, other movies, they're like, oh, I don't know, I can't really kill him. She's like, nope, boom, you're done.
Right.
It's like, because she knew him. So I was like, at least there, I'm like, it's gonna be good. Like, it's gonna be a little bit more realistic. Like, you're bitten, you're already dead, so might as well put you out of your misery now. But then the movie starts, and it changed tone so quick from like high action music playing, all this crazy shit, to Bautista flipping burgers or some shit.
Yeah.
That was a
like,
big quick change.
What? Which I'm like, okay. But then it goes right into the primary point. I can't even think of the guy, but the guy who plays Scorpion walks in, meets him. I guess he was given like the Purple Heart and all this other stuff. So he's like not only a war hero, but also like a zombie war hero, I guess.
Yes.
And he gave him the whole plot. He goes really quick, which I didn't mind. I was like, here's some money. Here's the plan to go get the money. If you bring all the money, you get some of it. Super simple heist movie. Cool. I'm in. Still digging the movie. And he starts to get all his team together that you already kind of met in the, beginning intro song.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, anything I missed yet?
No. So one thing I thought was interesting, what they used. I found it creative. They used storage containers, real heavy, sturdy. Like, I feel like I kind of got that vibe from The Walking Dead, which is another zombie kind of genre of show / movie. I don't know. The Walking Dead to me kind of feels like a movie. But anyways, in there they have also the same storage containers that block off the whole, or quarantine a whole city. Like, or no, was it Nevada or just Las Vegas? Las Vegas, right?
It was just Las Vegas.
It was just Vegas, yeah.
Okay, Las Vegas only. I thought that was cool. The flip of the
interesting
switch.
You say that.
It's the flip of the switch when they switched to Bautista. It kind of lost me, man. It lost me. Like, I almost wanted to like turn it off and be like, okay, let me come back to this before I prepare myself for this, roller coaster they're trying to take me on. But it was okay. I see what they were going with it. In the comments, right? O'Dally's pointed out one of the characters, Chris D'Elia, who is not in the film, but he was actually supposed to be in the film. The role he was supposed to take was the pilot, played by the woman with the short hair. She's over here somewhere. Fuck.
I can't think of her name. She has a weird name.
She's Nataro?
Yeah. Her.
And,
which Bautista said he still has not met her in person.
Nope. That's because
she was all CGI.
She was digitally put in to the film. And her lines were they were okay, but they were meant for him. If he would have said a few of those lines, they probably would have had better. Not that I'm taking away from her comedy, because she's a comedian as well. But
you're thrown in there in somebody else's shoes. I mean, there's not much you can do,
Right. So she was kind of bland in the film. She was okay. She has some okay one-liners, but she's limited because of obviously filming after the fact.
Yeah, she didn't deal with anybody. Everything she did was on a green screen. That's why if you do watch it again, watch her scenes. All her scenes are either like from a weird behind the back or just her. Yeah. And whenever it's her with the group, if you look at it, you can see how weird she looks because she's
so singled out.
Digital. It's like the Superman mustache shit that they did. It's kind of
there was one of them, where she walked and then you could only see like two soldiers or shoulders of like two individuals on each side of her, and she walked in between them, but you didn't see like the neck part. It was just their shoulder was just cut off. Like it was
Oh,
just about
man.
there.
Yeah.
And that makes more sense now that you bring that up, because I didn't
Yeah.
know that until you guys actually brought that up. I was like, oh, that's really interesting now.
Yeah.
And also, if you listen to it, they refer to her as him or he throughout the whole movie.
I missed
They're like,
that
"Oh,
part.
he's crazy. He better not screw us over." I'm like, wait, you know. But
I
then I
really
get, you
missed
know,
that.
in
I
like,
definitely
you know,
watch it now.
like today, it's not that big of a deal, you know, with like the world we live in today. But it was definitely something that threw me off. But I know, like like Oli was saying, like, wish Chris D'Elia stayed in. I'm not a fan anymore. I was kind of a fan. I'm like, oh, cool, you know, see him in a movie. But then after everything that came out, I was like, oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
you can
Not
stay
talk
off
about it
of
too much,
everything.
but allegations, right? Allegations of sexual, either
It's
with
I mean, it's a
minors or
little bit more than
something.
allegations. It's there's
Oh,
lawsuits,
Oh,
but
there's
yeah,
lawsuits now. Oh,
there's
I
lawsuits.
haven't been keeping up with it. Okay, so
Yeah.
he's in deep. Let's just call it that.
He's in deep.
And he's just not. He's losing respect of a lot of people, myself
I mean,
included.
no one's working with him. Well, it cost Netflix over $1 million to replace him digitally like that.
Ooh.
So it was
Awesome.
not cheap for something like that. But
Okay.
Netflix is like, they didn't want to deal with it, and Zack Snyder didn't want to deal with him. You know, so it's like,
Sets an image for them.
yeah,
Kind of, that
yeah.
they left them in, I think.
You know, because I think if it wasn't as bad as it was, they might have left it in and be like, well, you know, we don't know yet. But I think since it came out so hard and fast and so many and everything and so much proof, it was just like, you know what?
Which, not to talk too much about him, but it makes me wonder. Like his best friend is Justin Bieber, right? Did you guys know that?
Chris D'Elia?
Yeah, they're real close.
Really?
And he's Justin Bieber's favorite comedian for some reason. Don't know why, but yeah.
I mean, he was a lot of people's. Him and Brian Callen were like BFFs, and Brian Callen got allegations against him now too. So,
no, man, like-minded people stick together.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
But moving on, let's talk about some of the characters, right? Bautista, he did okay. I wasn't mad at his acting, because I think his delivery of what he was given was okay.
I thought it was good. I
That was
enjoyed
good.
him. You know,
Okay.
Oli says he's gotten better. Yeah, I liked it.
I agree. Considering
I like
the position that they put him in, the role that he was in, I think he played it very well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm a tough critic for him, but I don't know, man. Anytime I see wrestlers or ex WWE anybody come to the film industry, I'm like, what are you gonna do, man? Like, if you couldn't sell the move live, what makes you think you're gonna do it in some takes and waste everybody's time? You know, that's the way.
Yeah.
A lot of them don't succeed, or they're not that good. I think Dwayne is obviously the king of it. He actually did good.
By far. I mean, he blew Hulk Hogan out of the water. He is
Steve Austin didn't do that great.
Oh God.
Either.
He was in one of the Marine movies, I think. That's the only one I could think of.
They're always Marines for some reason.
Yeah. Oh, the WWE owns that
Is that what it is?
Yeah. Like the Miz is one of the Marines. All of them are. I think there's like 5 movies, and they're all WWE guys. But yeah, I mean, I didn't mind. But Bautista is very different from The Rock. The Rock kind of has a range of everything. Bautista is very specific with what he can do. You know, like he was in the sequel Blade Runner. He was in the Blade Runner sequel.
Oh, was he? I didn't see that.
Yeah, and that was like perfect. It's like exactly for him. Very monotone, very level-headed, and then has those episodes of like, you know, craziness, and then kind of keeps it cool.
Okay.
You know? Yeah, I liked it. He's not gonna win an Oscar anytime soon, but you know,
see that happening.
he's not bad. Not bad.
One of my favorite characters, I want to say, well, he was a favorite character until so this guy, I call him Juice. He's Theo Rossi, right? He's the offering that they give.
Yeah.
Which that was messed up, right? So in Vegas, when Batista's crew has to go retrieve the money, right? He's one of the guys that's with them, and he's kind of not liked. He's kind of
as they enter the city, though, right?
Yeah. He's an a-hole, right?
He was a last second kind of thing that they brought in.
And
it was
So I've seen him from Sons of Anarchy. I don't know if you guys watch Sons of Anarchy. It's like a biker gang
Yeah.
drama series, and
Yeah.
in
He was
there,
on the Arrow too.
oh, was he on Arrow?
Yeah,
No
he was
way.
a he was a bad guy.
How was
What's
he?
crazy is I
I
seen him as
didn't like
Shade
that character, but
in
Shades.
Marvel freaking series.
Oh, okay. So
He was Shades in Luke Cage, the Luke Cage series. He was Shades.
Yes,
Ah,
That's
yes,
where I remember him. Like, oh,
exactly.
it's Shades,
Yep,
and then yeah,
gotcha. Okay,
yep.
but man, like I like him as an actor. I think he's really good, and he really knows how to dive
He's
into a
the rat.
role. But yeah, there you go. He
Yeah,
played a rat in the Sons of Anarchy series, but
yeah.
I think he did really well. But in here, man, they killed
you
him
hated the
off.
guy.
I hated the guy. Yeah,
Yeah, which is
and which is
you
good.
know,
You
you
love
know,
to hate someone, but they killed him off so bogus, like so bogus. They offered him as like a piece of meat to enter the like if you want to call it zombie kingdom, because there was kind of a hierarchy. You had super
mm-hmm.
zombie, right? He has a cape. He grew his hair long, and he had his queen. There was like a queen zombie that he
Yeah,
made, and I
He
didn't
was a
really see.
dancer. She had all the get up still, which is
Oh yeah,
funny.
she did. She did.
yeah.
And they had a thing going on, and she was like inspecting him, and it's like, okay, yeah, we'll
This
have
is
him.
worthy enough.
They
Mm-hmm.
wanted to like turn him, I guess, and that's I mean, as military, you always want to grow. You don't want to have small numbers. So obviously they're like, fuck it. I mean, screw it. We'll take him, right? And they got deeper and deeper into the freaking kingdom, and yeah, I thought that was pretty bogus with him. Um, who's
But
another
it's like
one?
you expected it because well, she also said like he was always messing with everybody, but she called him like he was a rapist too. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, he
I was
was.
like, where did that
And
come
then
Yeah,
from? Because she was like, I was like, oh shit, okay,
because he kept trying to mess with like the people there and like saying like,
yeah,
oh, let me check your temperature. Like, are you 1 or 2 above? We'll see. You know, like it's not really
mm,
to his discretion.
yeah. He was kind of
yeah,
that bit of an asshole guy, and I
yeah,
think that's why she offered him. And the she
he knew,
individual was the coyote, as they speak of. She knew how to bring people in and out
yeah,
of these
of the
cargo
vegan,
haunt. Yeah,
yeah,
so yeah, so she offered him. It was really interesting to see, but yeah,
yeah. Well, all this is also we didn't mention is Bautista has a daughter, and
who
was it?
works
You never
there?
see
Yeah.
it. Yeah, she works in like right outside the Vegas area with like
It's like a
helping kids
refugee
and
camp
stuff like
kind of
that.
thing,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly. And but they didn't say that's not his biological daughter, right?
I don't think it was
Because she kept saying you killed my mom,
the
and he was
way
like, "Oh,
they
I loved your mom."
portrayed it. It seemed like he married into the
It was
family.
like,
He kind of
yeah,
raised her for like a year or two. I don't know, but it
yeah,
just seemed like their relationship was kind of new, but old enough for her to call him
him
dad.
like dad. Yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah,
I thought that was really interesting.
yeah. Who was Ludwig? I'm trying to think of which one.
Ludwig.
Oh, was he the
Um,
German guy, the German crack safe crack guy?
Ludwig, yeah, he was.
I
Yeah, he
believe
was the
so. Right?
German, the smart kid, the guy that he
Yeah.
was their
Which, yeah,
safe break, the guy who broke
I
it.
did.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
oh,
liked him because
okay. Oh,
mm,
he blonde hair, right?
yeah,
yeah,
the little scared guy.
There you go.
yeah,
But
Okay,
he's
yeah,
just
he was
there
pretty
for
funny.
the
yeah.
just for.
What is it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was hilarious.
yeah. He was there just open the safe, which was kind of like cool because at one point they're walking through the city and the pilot tells Batista, which I thought was funny because I was like, they have a scene together, like face to face,
Yeah.
and they've never
Oh my
met
god,
each
that's
other.
right.
You know,
That is right.
but yeah, and she's like, hey, if there's a hierarchy of who's important on the list, she's like, there's obviously the safecrackers number one, but I'm number two, right? Because I'm the pilot. I'm your way out.
Yeah.
But then I think the important part of that
Mhm.
conversation was, well, the person that we don't want here is Scorpion's. I keep calling him Scorpion. I don't know what his character's name
I
was.
got you. I got
It was
you.
like
What was it?
Tanaka.
Yeah,
Tanaka
what
It
was
was
is
the
it?
Tanaka.
character.
Is it
Yeah.
Tanaka? There you go.
Yeah.
It was
Hiroyuki.
Tanaka brought his own bodyguard in,
To
so they
watch
kept
it.
like, yeah. And that's what I thought. I'm like, oh, he's gonna shoot them and take the money at the end, or something stupid,
Right.
But
There was
yeah, I
something
mean,
fishy about him from the beginning. Like, why
yeah,
is he in this
yeah,
group? And all of a sudden, last minute, he goes, "Oh, I'll be part of
I'm into,
your crew as well." Well, wait,
yeah,
we never picked you. he goes, "Oh yeah, but Mr. Tanaka wanted me to go in with you guys." So it's like,
Yeah.
okay, that's a little weird. And they
That's
ask
never
him why,
good news.
and he's like, "Oh, because I know the way around the hotel." Okay,
So
Like,
we have
you just gave
blueprints.
us the blueprints, exactly.
Yeah, well, okay, and then it was
Yeah.
weird. It was off. I was like, okay, something. I mean, in almost every movie such as this, there's always like that bad guy, like the the antagonist, and like such as like Rossi's character. But there's more questions going deeper into the city.
Yeah.
Right. He was the loose end that just didn't tie everything right. He was just I don't know, always fishy looking.
And when you mentioned loose ends, when she went and she goes, hold on, like the tier of people, like I'm more important than him, and him, right? That scene right there. Now, if you guys remember with Heath Ledger's iconic Joker scene and his clowns breaking the bank and the bus and his that scene of when the Batman scene was, I'm like, dude, this is gonna be another like replay of that with the guy cutting the electric, the guy breaking up the safe, the driver. He goes, no, and that kind of reminded me of that iconic little scene.
And when they're throwing the money in the back of the bus, and
he goes, oh, no, I'm supposed to kill the driver. That reminded me of that whole scene. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, he took a lot. There's a part where they're telling the plan. So as they're telling it, like there's a part where they're standing still and they're like, there's a circle and they're like shooting and stuff like that. And then it cuts because Ludwig is like, wait, when we kill it? But it's also like, hey, that's from the Avengers, And then people already, I saw a bunch of that. It's like, who directed the Avengers? Joss Whedon. Who fucked up Justice League? Joss Whedon, because Zack Snyder. So it's like, it might have been, so a lot of people are like, it's one of those like superhero tropes that Joss Whedon used that Snyder made fun of and then poked fun, and then Meta poked fun of it because then Ludwig broke it up and it's like, wait, what are we doing? That sounds stupid, kind of thing. It was like, how do I kill a zombie? So it was like there's a lot of things I think Snyder took of different things, and I didn't even think about that, but that was like 100% of like, it was like, hey, who's the people that need to live on this list of people we have here?
Yeah, I thought exactly after Joker. That scene, I was like, it's gonna come down to a money issue. Funny. But what's crazy is, as we get deeper into the movie, it ultimately the money was a factor for only a few and a factor for some. Like it wasn't the ultimate thing that will.
Yeah, other things started kind of popping up. Always saying the Latina chick was a badass. There was two of them. There was Maria, which was the one in love with Bautista,
the main one, right?
Maria Cruz.
And the main one, and then there was the other one who was with the YouTuber.
Chambers.
Yeah,
she had a bad scene. That was a really cool scene. I was like, oh my god. That's when you learn you hate the one guy. Tanaka's guy. That's when you start hating him after what he did to her. But she almost
made it, man.
Yeah, man.
When she broke out that glass,
that was Chambers.
When she broke out that glass, I thought she was gone already. She was powering through.
Yeah,
she was really cool.
Snyder did that a lot. I felt though too was like drag things out where it was like uncomfortable to watch almost. Like he did that. Something with the tiger happens where I'm like, he's dragging this out for a little too long. But it was like
he literally dragged it out. The tiger kept like boom, 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 boom. And like it felt like a Mortal Kombat fatality that went on for way too long.
Yeah. See, that's the thing that so Marvin says she could have made it. There was time for them to help. That was my thing. Is like
I was just about to say that as soon as you get stopped. Guzman could have saved her.
Yes, I mean you're watching her.
Yeah,
you're watching her. I don't get it. Yeah, he's just saying. He said, "Come on, she's on the floor. Just start taking them all out, man." I didn't get that.
He said,
that was like the last scene in the Titanic, basically. There was room on the board for both of them.
I totally agree.
Guzman. Yeah, Guzman. That's what I thought. I was like, because she comes jumping out. I'm like, oh, she's gonna rat on the dude. But then her last words are like, run. I'm like, why aren't your last words like, don't trust that motherfucker? Like,
Right?
what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give a little justice.
Like,
to that dude.
I know I'm
Come
gonna
on,
fucking
man.
run. Like, I don't. There's zombies eating you. I'm gonna run.
Of course.
Give me information I need.
The only,
So
the
I
only
was
time
like-
that's appropriate to say run is when like you're talking to like a sibling that refuses to leave you type deal. That's when you say like no, run, go. But they didn't give a crap about her.
I mean, he carried, but also was like, you could have saved. You could have saved her.
Could have.
Yeah,
That guy did
it.
Yeah, that guy
did
did
it. Exactly. And then like, at least then it's like, at least I know I'm gonna get revenge. Like, hey, don't trust that bastard.
Right.
That's how easy it would have been. Yeah. So yeah, there's zombies hibernating in the hallway for some reason.
Yeah.
And then Bautista,
That was
and you can't
different,
shine. I thought that was a little
zombie movie,
different.
that was different.
Well, that was
Silent Hill. I can't remember of Silent Hill.
isn't
Legend
what's the
crap
other
right there.
damn movie?
I Am Legend.
I Am
had some
Legend.
weird-
Or I
They
Am
did
Legend.
something like that where they
Hibernating
like
zombies,
hibernated. Yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, even with the smart zombies I thought was very I Am Legend-ish too. Where like
Yes.
he's like they can think and they have feelings and stuff like that.
So now that you
we're
bring this
gonna get
smart
into that
thing,
in a second.
You brought the smart thing, okay?
Yep.
These guys, or the zombies there, that alpha zombie that was creating more smarter zombies, they seemed legit smart, like really smart, from what most movies are. And then as soon as I saw how intelligent they were, I was like, you would have thought that these container systems were not good enough for them. They would have like climbed out of these containers somehow.
It's a lever. That's the only thing that's holding these things in is a lever. Like
Oh
how did
pull it up
they
and it's open.
They figured out how to ride a horse and all kinds of crap.
Yeah, exactly
and he
what
had that
Marvin said.
metal mask. I'm
He
like, obviously he
domesticated.
knows that's the way
he knows. Yeah.
So he could have figured a way to tell his subjects to create like a bunch of cars and stack them up or something as steps.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was weird.
I think it was like, but I don't know. I wonder if he was smart enough to knew that they were gonna like nuke him, or if it was just like they're gonna leave us alone, we're gonna leave them alone, and that's why like they offered that one dude at the end.
Right.
Like she goes, we're gonna give him a piece of shit person that no one likes, and they're gonna leave us alone, and we're all good, And then obviously, the deal changes. So yeah, so I don't know where we at. So when they start to realize that they're not the first team.
Yeah, when they got to
doing
the
this.
casino floor.
Yeah,
That's
so they're
when
they saw another blueprint first, so they were like, oh, and obviously the mole guy from Tanaka, didn't know anything.
Nope.
Oh yeah, that's right. The coyote was like, this isn't a prison. This is their city.
Yeah.
It's like they were happy with whatever they had. There's something Oli said I don't want to say quite yet because that's the probably there was some. Yeah, we'll get into that second. But yeah, so they realize there's other people trying to do this again.
Mhm.
They get to the safe. That was kind of a funny part where they have the booby traps.
Oh, they have to test the
like-
booby traps.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
to get to the safe.
yeah.
So once you open the doors, there was like a little hall,
Yeah.
and Tanaka said there's some non-lethal booby traps.
Mhm.
You have to set them off, and then you're good to get to the safe.
Right.
So I don't know, you want to see what they did to trigger the booby traps?
What
Well,
did they do? I don't remember.
Okay,
actually.
so I remember the scene. I just, like I said, I just watched it and literally
Just
20
finished.
minutes ago, and I jumped on with you guys. So, Ludwig, obviously the safe guy,
yes.
goes in there with Vanderho,
Vanderho, that's
who's like another like who was part of. He was the chainsaw guy at the
the
beginning.
chainsaw guy. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Very, very attached to that chainsaw. By the way, there was a scene where
Yeah.
he got mad at someone that piece of crap guy told him, "Don't touch my chainsaw."
Yeah.
But they get in there, and I wanted to bring this up now that we bring up Vanderho. Vanderho at the beginning of the movie, remember they're holding pictures of their families on like in front of like a portrait scene.
Yeah.
On that photo was his two parents and him graduating, and this was a little detail I pay attention to. It said master's degree in philosophy.
Mhm.
So he thought about this. Something's not right here. I thought that was interesting. I don't know if that was an accidental thing, but it was like his mind, like obviously he's a smart guy,
Okay.
and why he was the one who's like, don't go through here. After he saw that they were dead, so they get there, they go down the elevator shaft, or through an elevator. They open up a first gate with a little card that was handed to Ludwig. Then they get to a second gate, and there's a team prior to them that died, and they were trying to pick that lock or something like that, but they were all dead. And then they thought of a representation team of them themselves, and then they got through that one, and then that's when Vanderhoe goes, hold on, something's not right. And this is a funny scene. I thought it was kind of funny that he was using these zombies to get to the safe by using them as bait. And he cut off one of their hands, and he microwaved it, and he goes, it's not about the blood, it's about heat. So the hand, he held it in front of him. He's like, go get it. So he threw it towards the safe, and it took 3 tries because the first one tried to attack him. The second one obviously got hit with darts, the first trap. Then he triggered a second trap, and then there was
like
weapons.
bullets. Yeah, the second one was bullets.
That was, and then I think I can't remember what happened the second one, but that was actually the third one who made it all the way through. And then there was a third lethal trap that busted him open and smashed him, and that was pretty cool.
I was like, in what safe? What would have that where like the wall would come out from the side and bash together to crush somebody? This is so
Star Wars, the trash can scene. I don't know.
Sounds like hitting.
Well, there's a Marvin says something, but I want to bring that up when we get to it in a little bit. Okay. So they get to the safe, and I guess it's like some crazy safe, and this German guy Ludwig is the only guy, or he said he's the best option they have to open a safe like that. It's like some uncrackable kind of thing.
Which is always the case.
It's always the case, exactly. It was like, I guess it wouldn't be a safe if it wasn't uncrackable. I mean, come on.
There's always a luck, man.
Yeah, exactly. So they start cracking the safe and stuff like that, and then Maria like proclaims her love to Bautista. Like she's like, "Oh, I'm here not for the money. I hear because I love you." Blah blah blah. And and then Bautista and his daughter kind of have a moment a few times, and then it kind of gets ruined by the anger that she has towards him. She doesn't love him. She's like he killed her mom because she turned to a zombie. He thought she blamed him for killing her, and she's like, no, I know you had to. She was not my mom anymore. He goes, but you were just a dick and never came and visit me anymore. You just like you.
Yeah, he just upped and left. Didn't come.
Yeah, he's upped and left, but he did. He's like he thought he was mad at that, so it was like a miscommunication kind of thing.
Twice.
He seemed to crack it really easy. That safe was from Walmart.
Probably.
Yeah. So, but then, so Marvin was saying he was understand the whole point of his daughter not closing the gate all the way. It didn't really come up. It does. They don't tell you directly, but that was the only way out of the casino without going down
to the helicopter on the roof.
Yeah, or to the stairs. I think wasn't it or something. Because what's his name also went down too. Yeah, they had to go up
to get out and up.
Yeah,
through there.
But she did that so she can leave to go find her friend. So she left it cracked open so she can like take off and go find her friend that got lost in Vegas the night before, that the coyote brought her in the night before. Yeah. That's why she did it. They don't really tell you why, but that was the only thing. Because once the elevator was out of service, the only other way was through that gate. Yeah. So that's why they kind of did that. And then so they cracked the gate, the safe open. There's just like this moment of like, oh yes, joy. We did it. Everyone's looking at each other and all this money. The Zombie King had a helmet to protect his head.
Very, very smart.
Yeah, that's yeah.
That's something very different from any other movie.
And that's what I was saying earlier. Like, the intelligent part of them. How is it that they still kept within the Connex area?
There's been one other movie that I remember where they had a smart zombie where he kept even learning along the way. I don't know if you guys ever heard of a movie called Land of the Dead. Old
So.
movie. Land of the
I think I
Dead
heard of it.
starts off with like this one black dude. He's a mechanic. I don't know how he gets infected, but he's the alpha zombie in this movie. Pretty similar concept. I want to say if Zack Snyder didn't get inspiration from that film, I don't know how he got it.
I
But
feel like it was all I Am Legend
I Am Legend.
similarities.
I mean,
Mm.
but well, in this one, he actually uses a gun. A zombie using a gun. They actually use
John
weapons.
Leguizamo?
Yeah, John Leguizamo was in that movie.
Oh dang!
That has some okay actors in there.
Mm.
It's real satirical, I want to say, of a film. It's not so like serious.
Yeah.
They have like funny moments. There's like shifts when you go into the city and deal with zombies, and it's just like it's make it like the norm almost. It's real funny, but in there, that's the only other film I've seen where zombies were so smart to where they had a sense of their old selves. I think like he was feeling up
Action.
yeah, they knew of their past memories even type deal,
Mm.
which is a crazy concept because when you think of zombies, you think of brainless, creatures just walking amongst,
Slow and dumb and
going off of
Yeah.
instinct, trying to
Yeah.
eat.
Yeah, which I like. They had those, and then no one knew about the smart ones, which was kind of like interesting,
Mhm.
But I was like, Bautista and his guys were out there for so long. I was like, you never encountered alphas, or did maybe the alphas just stayed at Olympus, building his army?
I think
Kind of
so.
thing?
I think so.
Maybe.
Yeah, it'd be.
Um,
I wouldn't want to have my strongest
yeah.
doing
Yeah.
little tasks,
So well, he opened the safe. They're all like looking at all the money.
Mhm.
The coyote had taken what's his name, the Tanaka's mole,
Mhm.
out to the wild again, and he had promised her. He goes, "Hey, if you do this for me, I'll save everyone at your refugee camp." And she's like, "Cool." And he wanted the queen to come back out. So she shot a gun, and they kind of come back out. It was the queen and a buddy, and he wraps the queen up in like I don't know, like just some kind of like wrap kind of thing that he shoots at her, and then they kill the buddy. And then next, he like gets on top of her, and then starts sawing her neck off. I'm like, what the
Yeah.
hell? And then you kind of find out he takes the head, and he's like, oh, this, the head, is gonna be
More-
it's
and
more
that was
more
his
than
purpose
anything else.
there.
Then the money.
That's why he was there.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's like, screw the money. He goes, I want the
That's
head
saying-
because this is priceless. This is what's
Some of
gonna
them
give me
was
all my
for money
money.
and other objectives they had. Yeah, and that was it.
But that was directed by
yeah,
George A. Romero,
Yeah.
the one you were talking about, Land of the Dead.
Yes.
I gotta check that out.
Really good
Yeah.
film.
I mean, yeah, Romero is the zombie creator,
Yeah.
So he gets the head, and they go back to the hotel. They all kind of meet up, and they're getting ready to leave because Vegas is going to get nuked on 4th of July because the president said, "Fuck yeah, those are going to be the greatest fireworks ever." It was so stupid on his reasoning on why he was going to do it on the 4th of July. It was just like, oh my god, but it was funny. I don't know. And then that's when that's when the double cross happens. They're on their way out.
Yeah,
on the
that's
way
when
out.
his true colors comes out, and that's when you realize, okay,
Yeah,
you knew he was
we missed
bad along.
Yeah. Well, so as they do that, they find out Zeus, the head zombie, alpha zombie,
Yes.
hears his queen's cry, goes gets the body, and brings it back to the hotel, the Olympus, with all the other alphas.
Yep.
And he's like screaming and making all those noises and shit, and then he rips out a freaking baby, a zombie baby.
Oh yeah.
What the fuck? That's what Oli says. Like, oh my god, there's gonna be a zombie baby, right? He pulls out like a fetus. I guess she was pregnant, and they had this. The alphas had that glow to them. They had that weird electric blue glow
it was
to
weird.
them.
I saw 2 of them like that.
Yeah. Well, the baby had it, and then if the glow fades away, and it obviously dies because the mom's dead. Well,
Right.
Dead, double dead. I don't know what you call a dead zombie. But yeah, so and then that's when he loses his shit, and he's like, "We're gonna go kill these motherfuckers."
Yep.
So they go to the hotel and start really going after these guys, and that one of the best kill scenes is after Maria claimed that she loved Bautista and they're gonna go live wherever the hell they're gonna go live with all their millions of dollars and stuff like that.
Mhm.
The elevator opens up and there's a bunch of alphas and he just flips her head and then she like
Oh,
and then the
Oh,
bone
yeah,
like a
that was-
pigeon,
out.
like a pigeon,
Yeah.
right? She just
And what's
He just
crazy is the detail behind that too.
That was probably one of my favorite scenes in the movie. I thought I was like, oh, because I wasn't expecting that.
no
Because the zombie just grabs her and just wham, and I was like, what? like-
message. That was
Yeah.
a message to them, like, oh, you gonna do this to my bride? Yeah,
Yeah,
This-
and her the bone popping out was kind of like a cool detail, which I don't think that would happen, but whatever. It was cool, you know.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's when like also I was an hour and 45 minutes into the movie. I'm like, are we done yet? I'm like, how much
Yeah.
longer is this
Yeah,
gonna go on? It was a
bit-
2.5 hour movie, and you know, and that was around that time, and it was hour 45 when the ending happens. You know, so what's his name betrays him, blah blah blah. You know the alphas are trying to kill these guys. They're trying to escape to the roof to get to the helicopter that's up there. That the Chris D'Elia replacement. I keep forgetting her name. Peters. That was her name in the character.
Marianne
Yeah.
Peters. Yes.
Wow. So he goes up there. What does the mole guy go up there? 'Cause I know at one point
Yes.
he goes down.
He had that gate, that card, that special gate card.
Yeah, he
And
goes through
then-
the gate and locks them all in.
Yeah. And then he goes up.
Hatch or whatever, right?
Yeah. He goes up, and that's when he finds out, or that's when he's up there with her, or whatever. But
But he gets down back to ground level, right?
Yeah, that's when he meets that tiger or something.
Because he leaves the building at one point. I don't remember how. And as he's walking out, he's like he felt something weird, so he looked at the head, and the head wasn't there anymore because the coyote switched it out. So she did the double cross. You know, I was like, so, and then the tiger just starts chomping on this dude, and that was the scene where I'm like, all right, let's keep it going. We're already almost 2 hours into the movie.
Right.
You know, I don't need 5 minutes of Secret Freed and Roy's tiger gnawing on somebody.
It was like Leo and that bear in that one movie he did.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, it was just
Just
it was like, yeah. Well, then even like at the end where he like explodes his head with his mouth, I was like, that was a little unnecessary. Like I didn't need to see that. Like you already had the big, holes in the neck that were squirting everywhere. That was kind of cool.
just like
You know,
a grape.
Yeah, I feel like that was super cool. You saw all the blood, this randomly squirting. It was and then it would stop and then squirt over here. And I thought that was really cool. But then I was like, you should have just cut away when the tiger pounced on him because you already knew what was going to happen.
Right.
But then no, he showed it all. Like we popped the head like a grape, like you said. Just went. Blah.
My son walked in on that scene.
Oh,
when he
jeez.
ate his face. That's where he's like, "What just happened, Papi?" And I'm just like, "Just go in the back, go in the back." Forget you saw this. Got traumatized by that. Definitely unnecessary.
He's never gonna trust a tiger.
Nope.
That's it.
Don't take him to a circus or a zoo anymore.
Well, yeah.
Crazy scene.
I don't know where we at now. So the zombies are all coming in there trying to attack everybody.
I want to talk about real quick.
Who's that?
No, it's actually after. Never mind. I was gonna talk about this guy, Vanderow, how he comes out at the end.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
Before we
Yeah.
We're gonna get to that.
That's a crazy thing. Before that, I mean, what else is there?
Well, the reason he survived is
Why did he
because
survive?
Ludwig
Yeah.
saved him.
How did
Yeah.
we save him?
So the safe is open,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
and they're
Oh, he
getting
closed
attacked
it.
by
Pushed
the
him
He
in.
zombies.
closed the safe. He
Closed the
on him.
safe
There it is. Okay.
from the
Well, he had a
nuclear
little-
blast, I'm assuming
yeah.
it opened up some hole or something.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
crawled out of the ground
I
like
forgot he got locked in the safe. I
Yeah.
thought he was gonna
Yeah.
die in the safe, man. Can you breathe in a safe for that long?
I mean, I'm sure you lose some type of oxygen throughout time.
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't seem that long because they were cutting it short at 20 minutes, and then the bomb came in, and so I would assume maybe because it was a big open space, and he was the only one.
Because here's my theory, right? If he's so well protected in that safe, right? Then that means that there's no air going in that mofo. You can't breathe in there if it's that secured and that air. Because if you can breathe, right? Let's say you can breathe in the safe, that means fire can get into the safe and he could burn. The air inside the safe would burn.
Yeah. I mean, it was a nuclear bomb that landed in Vegas.
Yeah.
And he was on the safe was up high, in a hotel. It wasn't ground level. So it's like not only did it have to like survive the explosion, which is near impossible, had to survive a collapse to ground. This is like, did they have like a racing car seat that you can just strap in there? I don't get it.
There was no cushion in there. There was no seatbelt. Like, no, that's what got me thinking. Like, hold on. Like, he's in the safe, and if you're in the safe, and that all the crazy reactions that come from a nuclear blast like that hits you, you die either way. You die either way.
Yeah, I mean,
I would assume.
Yeah,
I mean, look at Chernobyl.
Right.
Like, he should have woke up in Chernobyl or something like that.
Yeah, basically.
Real funny. But anyways, let's move on. I just thought that was something interesting. That
Well, he was going to die because he thought he can one-on-one the alpha zombie.
Yeah.
And he was like, nope. And I guess he almost bit him, and then that's when Ludwig came in with, bopped him in the head and pushed him in the safe. And I was like, I don't see why you just don't jump in there with him, but okay. Or push the fucking head zombie in the safe.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's gonna get nuked. That's what I thought they were gonna do, and they didn't. So he gets pushed in there, and Ludwig dies, obviously, and then it cuts to the rest of the crew until the very, very end. But then it's just Bautista, his daughter, and Coyote. But his daughter's not even there. His daughter went to go save her friend, so she's in the hotel where the alphas live.
Guzman is still out. Because Guzman, Guzman
doesn't die.
Sacrifices himself ish. Yeah,
kind of.
On
the way out. Yeah, on the way out.
He almost
leaving the casino. He almost made it.
And so what? Yeah. Peters was just chilling at the top the whole time before she left.
She was up there. Yeah, they were waiting for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because Guzman died as they were getting up to the roof. I was like on the floor on the casino floor, whatever. Right. And then he pulled all the grenades and they all blew up. But even the alpha saw all that and he like kind of got sad because he put his hand on the glass all Titanic style and was just like, my poor zombie. Yeah. And then they get up there. Then the coyote, what's her name, pulls out the head because the alpha's there. And I don't know what her plan was. Because she's like, go run, go leave. I was like, you're up there with the alpha zombie with his wife's head.
Yeah.
And it's still alive. The zombie wife head, queen head, is still like alive.
Yep.
And she had a gun to it. And then he grabs a tie rod, rod iron or something out of nowhere. I don't know where the hell.
Where did he grab that? He just walked up with it, right?
Maybe.
Like, and he chucked it in the casino. You're gonna find a
piece of 5 foot long rod. Well, he chucked it like a spear, and they got her shoulder.
Yeah, and then pierced her and sent her flying like 5-6 feet.
Yeah,
up against the wall.
Against the wall.
She stuck to the wall, right?
Yeah, like a dart, man.
Okay.
But then you don't know what happens with the head because
she throws it. She throws it.
Yeah.
She knows it, and because she knows she's gonna die, and she's like, okay, well, if you're gonna do all this, then bye your queen. Chucks the head to like a far lower part of
from ground, the top of the hotel,
and then explodes on impact.
Smash
really weird.
Yeah.
Does it?
It really does.
It just splats. It drops and just splats like
splats. I don't remember that part.
Throwing some fruit off of
like a watermelon.
Really,
basically.
Really,
that's exactly. Yeah. It just would. And just kind of splash.
Yeah. So Bautista's in the helicopter. They're starting to take off. I really thought that the alpha zombie was going to do a whole Steve Rogers, Captain America, like,
hold them onto
like,
it.
like pull, like like freaking arm press the freaking no, not arm press, but like bicep curl the helicopter.
Right.
But he didn't. He wound up jumping up there, jumping into the thing, I believe, right? And then oh no, that's later.
When he jumps up it.
Yeah, that's later because then they go to the Olympus Hotel first, and then he has to save his daughter and blah blah blah. So he saves the daughter, but the people that the daughter was trying to save, they all die anyway. And then he tells Peter, he goes, "Don't screw me," because she's like, "Where's the money?" And he's like, "Oh, there is no money. There was never any money." So so they go there. He saves his daughter, blah blah blah, and then he has a little one-on-one with Zeus, with the alpha zombie. And then that's when they come up to the top and they're about to head out. But
Peters is gone.
Peters is gone. That's right.
They thought that
Peters is gone.
She just left them because she's
left
scared, or I don't know why.
Yeah.
Explain.
Yeah. Well, she said she came back. She was like, "Oh, I was gonna leave, but then I got a conscience." I think she's something along those lines.
Which so cliche. Like, how do you?
I know.
Justify that as a way to come back.
Yeah.
I got a conscience. Why didn't you have a conscience the whole damn?
Yeah. Like as you were taking off and flying away, it's like that didn't count. I don't know. So they get in there, and then the zombie guy does the the leap of faith and jumps into the helicopter. And then they start like kind of going all fighting. Somehow Peters gets shot in the shoulder, I think, or something like that.
So he was like trying to like shoot him and then missed and hit Peters in the shoulder.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. That's when they spun out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
But,
so I don't know,
but before all that, this whole time, his daughter's fighting Rossi. So when they sacrificed him at the beginning, he actually they didn't really kill him off. They just
turned him.
They turned him into an alpha.
So she eventually had to go up against him as like a kind of like that internal movie rivalry the entire time from the beginning of the movie, and then she was the one who had to like see him again at the end. It was interesting to see that.
Yeah, which now he's like even more less human and more stronger, whatever. So yeah,
more of a monster.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. I forgot about that part.
Because he was just.
But it was just like the last 45 minutes of the movie was just so much all at once.
It was.
And I like that in the beginning, because you gave us all the backstory, everything in the song and the intro. Love it. But then you try to cram so much at the end where it just was like, what's going on?
They blew their budget.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
They blew their budget.
Yeah. So, well, then they wind up fighting, blah, blah, blah. The helicopter crashes, and they all survive somehow. Mind you, none of them are like strapped on. Oh no, the friend that she did get was in the helicopter. Did she survive?
Yeah,
she did survive. Because I remember
no,
she's in the helicopter, like holding on, screaming as they're crashing.
Something happened,
but then they never show her. Yeah, they never show her again. I really want to.
I think she died on impact.
Possibly, it would make sense. That would
because I was asking that same question. Like, where is the whole point of her leaving the group was for this freaking chick, and then she just dies. I was like, well, that sucked. I was at least hoping that she would survive with Kate. Kate is the daughter. I don't know if we mentioned that, but I think she died on impact when Peters got shot and spun out and hit the desert out there.
The crash landing.
Yeah. So I don't know. It was interesting because it was hard to steer out of Vegas. I think she clipped something right on the way out when she got shot, and I think that's why the helicopter went down.
As she was flying, as she was flying, she saw the nuclear bomb come in, and it hit Vegas, and then the shockwave,
the impact,
the shockwave kind of pushed her off, and then she hit something, and then crashed, and all that like craziness. But yeah, I assumed like everyone was gonna die. It was like, how did no one get flung out the freaking the helicopter that no one's tied into any seats.
Door open and all. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
Come on, you got this strong ass zombie in there with you.
Yeah, the zombie and Bautista are fighting. Somebody shoots him in the head, and then you see that blue electricity kind of dissipate after you get the head shot. Was it him or the daughter?
I think it was Kate.
It was Kate that did it.
Yeah, because Scott, who is played by Bautista, Scott Ward. Was the guy fighting him off. I think he was holding him or something, and he couldn't reach for the weapon or something. Kind of a cliche move.
Yeah,
I can't reach the weapon, but I'm choking the guy out on top of me and someone else.
How does the weapon not fall off that ledge? Can someone tell me? How did it stay on there for all that?
It's magnetic.
It's magnetic. It has that sticky stuff on it.
That got me. I kept commenting on that to the wife. I'm like, the gun. It's still there. Like, what the? What's it doing there?
There's a lot of stuff. I don't know. So it all happens and blah blah blah. And then Bautista, I guess, had a wad of money he took for whatever reason. Gave it to the daughter.
Oh, the coyote tossed it to him.
Was it? Oh, yeah, that's right.
It wasn't even intention for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
She gave it. She's like, check this out, and tossed him like a.
There was a cart outside the
bunch of hundreds. Gave him all those Benjamins.
Yeah, and then it's kind of like full circle. She sees Bautista. Scott has a bite on the neck, and she's like, "Oh, it's gonna be fine." He's like, don't do that." He goes, I'm already dead."
Yeah,
and she's forced to kill him. So it's kind of like first full circle. Like he had to kill the mom because she turned, and now she had to kill the dad because he turned. Yep. Then I'm like, damn, that's it. That's just how it ends. It's just her out in the middle of the desert, just killed her dad.
That's when I text you.
Yeah. She goes, it's just Kate. I'm like, wait.
That's bullshit. Yeah. And then I realized so at that time when I texted
there's more movie. It was like,
that's like 20 minutes. I was like, how's this not the end?
Oh my god, yeah.
You know what?
And that's when we get to Vanderhoof coming out of the ground.
Yeah.
The way it's kind of coming around full circle, I think the Vanderhoof scene should have been an after credits deleted scene. That's what it kind of feels like now.
It should have been a post credits.
A post credits scene. Because
bags of money. That would have been a cool end.
Right. To add that after shooting, Kate shooting her dad in the head. Like, obviously you guys agree. It's like, why? Why more movie? Why more movie? But now that I'm thinking back to it, I'm thinking like, what if Netflix doesn't? I mean, they could do.
They got to set up a sequel. Yeah, they got to set up all this.
But that was their way of doing it, and that was poorly done. If you're gonna do it, right in the movie, even though it's at the end, it's still in the movie. I think it should have been an after credit scene.
Yeah,
makes more sense.
And then ended it there. But
yeah, I agree. So, he winds up walking with a bunch of duffel bags that's filled with money. Finds a Trans Am for some reason, and because it's always got to be a fucking Pontiac Trans Am or Firebird, whatever.
Right.
It's old fucking 80s, 70s, Trans Am.
And then finds the airport. He goes to the lady at the I guess they set up flights. He's like, hey, I want that flight, and he points to like a private plane, and I was like, I want that one. Let me get that one. I want to fly to so and so. And she's like, no, you can't do that. Someone owns that thing. And he's like, oh yeah. He doesn't say anything. He just pulls out a few bricks of money. He's like, boom, 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 stack, stack, stack. All right, how about now? And she's like, okay, let's see what we can do. And picks up the phone, and he gets a hold of that jet. And so cringy, like the way it happened. Now he's on the private jet. He's like, hey, let's toast. That's a celebration. I got a bunch of money and I'm a winner. I came out alive, so he thinks, right? And so he asks them to do a toast or whatever. He pours like champagne for the women that are working on the flight, and then for some reason,
Stark move,
right? and then he finds himself. He goes to the bathroom, right?
Yeah, he starts getting like woozy or something.
Oh yeah, there you
go. Flight attendants like have to help him a little bit.
Yeah, he starts to like lose himself a little bit, and he's like you said, acting a little woozy. And what does he do? He goes to the bathroom, check himself out, and he's looking at himself and he's checking himself. He's like,
That's when he
okay,
notices.
the bite. He has a bite on his like underarm right here somewhere, super distinct. I've never seen such a like clean ass
Yeah,
bite.
it's like
By the way,
super like teeth mark. It's
it's
all
way
all
too
stout.
clean. You could count each tooth like so
I
fine.
thought it was his tricep.
Was it a tricep?
I think it was his tricep, like at the back of his arm, wasn't it?
It might have been.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I
But I
can't
know
remember.
because when the
It was
camera
so
zoomed,
distinct.
I just knew it was in this
big
area.
lump.
You
It
knew
was
it.
in this area. I know that much because he has to do
It was a
this.
big lump.
He had to like look and put his arm up, so it was something right there. It's probably his tricep. But he sees it and he starts laughing, and he's just again another crucial, not crucial, another cliche move. So, let me laugh as I have my last moments
At my demise. Yeah.
Yeah. So then he starts laughing, and what does he do? How does
I think it just ends there. It's just him like laughing at it. He doesn't, and it ends. That's it.
He doesn't kill himself. He has to kill himself. No, he.
I would assume he would.
He would hope so.
So that I guess
the movie ends right there.
Yeah,
it
just
does.
done.
I guess that makes room
A next
for
one.
Yes,
Is what they're planning.
Now they're going to New Mexico, so there's gonna the new spread.
Oh, that's right.
Maybe I don't know. It's so cliche in so many forms. It was like how it started off so good,
it did.
And I was really into it. And then when it was supposed to get really good is when it got really bad. And I just like, I'm not even kidding. I remember pausing the movie. I'm like, how much time do I have left? And it was 45 minutes. And I'm like, all right, let me go take the dog out and use the washroom and finish this shit.
Yeah. 2.5 hours. It was nuts.
Yeah. I was like that. Yeah. It was way too much. Man, I don't even know.
2.5 hours was a lot. I felt like 2.5 hours they could have gotten into more detail with the characters.
Yeah,
it still felt rushed.
Different.
It still felt rushed with some of the story.
They did too much at the end. It was just like they were trying to like the double cross happened really late in the movie, and it was really quick, and everything was just like really really fast because you just had too many bad guys, and I don't know. He was trying to do too many things at once. I'm like, is it a heist movie? Is it a double cross movie? Is it a zombie apocalypse kind of movie? Like he tried doing everything, and it was like, dude, this. I'm like, we're not doing, Justice League, and I'm not watching a 4-hour movie again.
No.
But I mean, this is a typical Zack Snyder film. I feel like, it's like
he took what works and he just put it all together.
Yeah. Which is not always the great.
I thought it was the way to do it. I started laughing at the beginning when I kind of reminded, like, Will asked me like a little bit of background myself. Yeah. I'm a paratrooper, so I've jumped out of planes before.
Okay.
And with parachute, but I don't know if you guys remember the scene of the guy. You can see all a bunch of parachuters going into the city.
Yes.
And the guy just floats into a bunch of zombies. It was at the beginning.
In the music scene there, the opening.
He flows right in. I'm like, dude, that is the worst case scenario for that guy, man. Like, you are about to die and you see it. Like, as a paratrooper, I was like, dang, that I think I would blow my brains out seconds before I landed. No way. Like, I already know I'm gonna die.
Or start chucking whatever like explosives you have. Just maybe make some space for you to land. I don't know.
Like he just went in with a little pistol. I was like, "That's all you got?"
Seriously.
That scenario would never happen. Like, I don't think we would start going into like that. But it was really interesting to see. I was like, "Oh gosh!" I started laughing.
Yeah. This movie did a lot of weird things. Well, so we'll get into reviews real quick. So Oli gave it a 5 out of 10.
We have a new system, right? New system.
Yeah.
We want to start rating our films, our brand new films.
Yeah. So we've been doing like 3 out of 5 and 5 out of 5 and stuff like that. So we just want to keep it simple. We're gonna do now, later, or never. So now means go watch it right now. Later means you can wait till it comes out on DVD. You can wait till it comes home. You can wait till it comes on streaming. And never is obviously never, like, you never want to deal with this movie ever again.
It's garbage.
Never watch it. So that's what we're gonna kind of use for now. We'll see how it works out. So obviously now being the best, later being the middle ground, and never being the worst kind of rating. Do you want to go first, Will?
Yeah, sure. So
Give it to
for
Martin.
me, like I look at a few things when I try to rate a film. I try to think like, can I watch this over and over and over and over? Like how juicy was the content that I was watching? And so for something like this, I think yeah, I agree with Odalis. I think later. I was entertained by the whole film, right? Even like the stuff that dragged on, I was entertained. You know, it was something to watch. It wasn't like
Yeah.
I was like, nah, I'm walking out of this theater. Like, no, like
Yeah.
I'll keep watching, but I'm not gonna tell you to go watch it right now. It's not like, uh, it's not Batman Begins. It's not like something iconic that you're like, oh my god,
Avengers
this.
Endgame. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, yeah.
this is not top other zombie movies. There's definitely more zombie
Yeah.
movies that
That's
I could
true.
recommend to you, and you'd have a better time watching those, even being older than this film. And I'd rather watch those now. So this one is definitely a later for me. What about you, Martin?
Okay.
What do you think?
I agree. Like definitely later. It's something I wouldn't watch like over and over again.
Mm.
This is background noise to me. I've seen it
Yeah.
once. I think if I'm gonna clean or something or just whatever, I think I'll just throw this on for background noise because I've already seen it. I might
Yeah.
take a peek. I'm like, oh yeah, that was pretty funny. Or, that was pretty stupid. But I don't think I would watch it a full sit down again unless I'm at a friend's house and they're watching it. Yeah, sure, whatever. But definitely a later. And it was oddly timing in the middle of like May. I thought this movie could maybe be released closer to October. Just
Okay.
because it's a zombie movie
Yeah.
typically, and I'm not trying to say like just because of Halloween, but I mean typically that's where you see all these reruns of zombies. So I'm definitely a later for me.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm probably there too. Like later, like watch it whenever you got some free time on the weekend. You want to watch something and there's nothing else to watch. This is probably good. It's definitely not like drop whatever you're doing and watch it right now. It is not that. But yeah, I definitely agree. Like with Will when you said like there's other zombie movies I can recommend. That would do much better than this one.
For sure.
Yeah, I mean it was a real letdown. The ending was so bad, so bad. I mean, I'm almost at that level of never, but also the action was good enough where like, it's probably worth watching if you like a lot of action.
I like Will's ending. The way Will described that ending should have been where it should have been at. Where Vanderhoek comes out of the ground, bunch of duffel bags, and how cool it would have been if he just ended with him coming out of the ground, laughing with bunch of bags of money, and that's it. And then maybe find a working car and then see him drive into the sunset with all this money on a random car that was working. That would have been done. So perfect.
Start the next movie of him at the airport.
Right, focus on him, his story.
Yeah.
There's so many directions
because then you can lead into like New Mexico spread, and then it goes into California or whatever. It's like start the next movie when he has all the money.
Yeah, they can afford him in the next movie.
Yeah. I mean, he's not that big of an.
He's not that big of a guy.
He's the guy that was in Power, right? He's in the TV show Power.
I believe so.
So he has a big name for himself in the TV
Some credentials.
Movie.
He's not a nobody.
Yeah, he's not nobody, but they could have built him up a lot more this next film coming up.
Yeah, because he seemed like a really cool character, kind of like to go based off of. I think they probably could have definitely went off a second movie for that.
Yeah, I liked him. So, who was your favorite character? For me, he was probably my favorite character.
Vanderhoek.
Like, I like what he did with the zombies and like leading them to their deaths. I liked that he was like this smart guy, like. That just was put in this world, and that he was, in. It was just I don't know. It was a very I liked him with the chains with the not it wasn't a chainsaw. It was like a concrete saw or whatever. It was like something that would be completely impractical to use during a zombie apocalypse. Because those things, he wanted it. Those things never turn on. You gotta sit there like 5 times. I know. I had to rebuild them at Home Depot, so it was like they never work. And then so.
But he was mine. Vanderhoek was mine as well.
Yeah. That's why it's like you should have did a sequel with him. I don't know. What about you, Will?
I think mine was it Was it Chambers? The one that broke through, the badass Latina or the
That was
badass
Chambers.
so
Chambers.
it's
The first
Chambers.
Latina chick.
She has some spunk to her that I felt like they could
She's
have
a badass.
explored a little bit more of her. You know, who doesn't like a nice woman role to show how strong women are, right? Like I'm not trying to get like too deep into it, but yeah, Latina chick was badass, and it's fun to see that every now and again. I know
Yeah.
when you think of action, you think of testosterone-driven, man-based, but it's cool to see something like that too. You know, so she was
Yeah.
kind of my favorite. She was my, and they did her bogus. I feel like a
They
lot of
did.
times in action films, they'll do the people of color real bogus. I was happy that what's his name the guy we just talked about, Vanderoe. I'm glad that he made it to the end of the film. By the end of the film, I was like, cool. You know, the person of color, they made it. They usually they die off so quickly, they die off so bogus or pathetic. No, he like he was smart. He was not your usual suspect that movie makers try to make people of color out to be.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Chambers was my pick for sure.
Yeah. There was a part I know you did talk about her, like she was a badass when like she was given the wrong direction, so she was going down the wrong way in the zombie hibernation
in the hallways
area.
in that kitchen
Yeah.
area. Yeah.
But she had woken a few up, and she was really quiet and stealthy with like stabbing them and then leading them down so she didn't make any moves. I was like, she's badass, man. She was super cool. I
was hoping she would have survived. Yeah. And then just ratted him out, put more drama into the movie.
Yeah.
I think that would have been cool.
That would have been rich.
Yeah.
Because then be like, wait, how do you know this? And then, well, this, and that. And then he probably would have said, well, how can you prove yourself? And then it'd probably break up the team or something. Like they could have used that to like in the film or something. I think that would have been kind of cool.
Yeah, that would have
been
really
later in the movie. I don't know.
Yeah, but all right, guys, I think that's about all that for this movie, man. We went an hour and a half. Much. But I think we all agree. We all unanimously pick watch it later whenever you got some time. And then one thing I know, Oli had tagged us in. So last week we talked about Spiral, and it is making big dollars in the theaters right now. Let's see if I can bring it up real quick. I think they broke a billion. Where am I at? Oh my god.
His comment earlier?
No, for Spiral, the movie that we did last week. It passed $1 billion globally.
Wow.
So it is the return of movies with this one. Movies are back, I think. This is like the first $1 billion movie since who can remember?
One of the Marvel movies, probably Spider-Man or something.
Right? Yeah. Whatever last Marvel movie was in theaters hit $1 billion. But I mean, I don't think it's $1 billion movie, but I think it's what the world needs right now. So it kind of became that. So that's kind of interesting, kind of thing. Variety that it pushes past $1 billion global box office. So
that's great.
There we go. So if you want to watch
Chris
that,
good for Chris Rock.
Oh yeah. If you want to watch that review, check out that one on our YouTube channel as well. But yeah, man, anything you guys got to say real quick before we end this one?
One thing, piggybacking off of what Martin said, I kind of, now that you say it, that like when you would want to release a film like this, definitely when it gets colder. I kind of agree now more. You want to be cozied up when you watch zombie movies. I always like doing it, at least myself. When I'm watching anything horror or anything zombie related, when I watched World War Z, I was definitely like, I like watching it when I'm cozied up. So
yeah, like October.
October. That sounds about right. Yes. What's the next movie review? What are we doing next week?
I believe we are doing Cruella, unless something else changes. But I think that one's going to be the popular one. There's so many trailers coming out for that one.
Emma Stone, right?
Emma Stone is the origin stories of Cruella. They're kind of doing what Joaquin Phoenix did with Joker. Kind of like,
I love what they're doing.
I like that. I like when bad guys get an origin story. So
Angelina Jolie's movie with oh my gosh, Maleficent.
Oh yeah,
Maleficent,
I love what they're doing.
That was really good though.
Total different than changing up Genie's story in the Aladdin. I love what they're doing.
Yeah. So This one, yeah, it's gonna be interesting. That's why I was like, it was maybe on the books, but I mean, I always love Disney stuff. And this
Same.
one is good. And Emma Stone's always a pretty badass actor. She always looks like she's 18 or 20 in my eyes. I'm like, oh, she's
Doesn't
a grown
age.
adult, has a
Doesn't
kid.
age.
It's like she still looks the same, like in Superbad. I was like, what the hell? Yeah, she just
does.
doesn't age, you know. But it's like, yeah, she's got a kid. She's like a grown, woman, you know.
That's really hard to believe, but yeah.
You know, and I think this one this should, kind of really like, concrete her position in Hollywood of like she is leading role material. We'll see.
She's a local hero here in Arizona.
Oh, is she from out there?
Yeah, she's everyone knows her.
Cool.
She's that's
awesome.
Actress. Yeah, I mean, we're a big state, but still.
Yeah. So next week we're gonna do Cruella, and that's gonna be a Disney Plus premium kind of thing. I think it's gonna be in theaters as well. I'm not sure. But cool, man. That is it for this week. Thank you guys for listening and tuning in. But don't forget about our other shows. Tomorrow we got Panda and Grizzly, and they're talking some Chicago Bears stuff.
They're breaking down I think they're breaking down the division. I think
they're breaking the NFC North. We're talking about all those. That's gonna be pretty fun. And then Wednesday we got Martin and Mark at the Dynasty Pylon. And you guys are breaking down the NFC West.
Yeah, NFC with a couple dynasty trades to spin it all up.
Yeah. So if you're big into like fantasy football, dynasty football, IDP, fantasy football, stuff like that, definitely check out that show. And then Thursdays, me and Alfredo and whoever else, Did We Just Become Best Friends podcast, where we talk about whatever pop culture and whatever else is kind of like trending. I do want to talk about like the Sox big thing that happened was the unofficial rules of baseball that are super annoying every year. So that might be something we might bring up, but who knows? I mean, we might talk about this and then wind up talking about like weird drunk stories again. I don't know.
Yeah. BS show. I love calling it, man.
That's what he's got to change it.
That's what I've been doing.
Every Sunday we got the Morning Spike where Martin, Alfredo, we got the Panda and Grizzly guys and stuff like that, where we talk about fantasy football, NFL news and updates and all that stuff. And I cannot wait for this NFL season to start. It's going to be a fun one for sure. But cool. Let's see. What about A Quiet Place 2? When does A Quiet Place 2 come out? I'm not sure.
Don't know.
I might have to look at it. Maybe we have to do a double header. We'll see. I don't know. So many good movies coming out. 2021 is going to be really, really good with a lot of movies. But yeah, cool. Thank you guys for listening and checking out this week's episode, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye.